Morning Joe on Cory Booker. Let's watch.
By the way, Richard Haas, most Democrats that fund the Democratic Party agree with Cory Booker and not with Barack Obama.
Exactly,
and not with Barack Obama's
and a lot of people who are going to vote for Barack Obama are investing in those pension funds, are investing, their IRAs are invested in Wall Street. So the idea somehow the private equity and Wall Street are hostile to the quote-unquote 99% is absurd. The 99%, their fate rises and falls with private equity and Wall Street.
And by the way, John Meacham, I know this will shock a lot of people, but when Bain Capital invests wisely, you know who it helps? It helps Bain Capital, yes it does. It also helps teachers unions. It also helps public employee unions. It helps firefighters. It helps, I mean, Bain Capital makes their money by public unions investing in them. These big, whether California or New Jersey, and when they invest wisely, guess what? It's public unions and private investors who profit.
I love Morning Joe. I know that sounds ironic, right? And it's meant in an ironic way. But I love them because they show you the perfect example of conventional wisdom and establishment in Washington, D.C. and in New York. They do a show where they say, okay, this is what Washington believes. It believes in screwing the middle class in every way possible, protecting the establishment, business, and politicians in every way possible. And they make it exceedingly clear every day. So you want to know what the establishment that's screwing you over thinks, just turn to Morning Joe, and you'll have your answer. So what's Joe Scarborough saying there? He's saying, first of all, first part is true. He says most of the Democratic funders actually agree with Cory Booker and not with President Obama on this. Absolutely right. In fact, he's so right on that Jim Messina, who's running President Obama's campaign, literally went to Wall Street funders and told them, don't worry, we actually are not going to run against you at all. We're just running against Mitt Romney and his business record. We will not attack private equity overall. We will not attack Wall Street overall because, of course, they get a ton of money from Wall Street. Now, so when Scarborough says Democratic funders actually love what Cory Booker said, that's exactly right. In fact, that's why Cory Booker said it. That was basically a giant national ad for Cory Booker to raise funds from Wall Street and other large donors saying, I'll be your guy. I'm your man. Right now I'm in Newark, but I'm going to run for probably senator in New Jersey, and you pour in millions of dollars, and I'll protect your ass from here to the rest of the time. So Joe's right about that. Now, the second part, where they then go on to defend him and Richard Haas, who's there, defend Bain richly, is amusing. You know, when Bain wins, the country wins. Did you know that? All those pension funds, et cetera. Bain is just doing it. I mean, they make a profit. But really, they're just doing it for the rest of the country. I mean, they're all profit. Except, Joe, for the times that they don't. So, for example, GST Steel. Bain puts in $8 million. They got out $4.5 million in fees. And then they take out $12 million in profit. And then the company goes bankrupt. How in the world do they do that? Well, they do that by buying it on leverage and then re-leveraging at times and taking out money from the company. And instead of investing it back into the company, they take it out and put it in their pocket. And then the company doesn't have enough money. It hasn't invested in itself. It hasn't done any upgrades, et cetera. And it has a much lower margin because the whole company got bought by borrowing all that money. Some of the money that was borrowed went right into their pocket in terms of profit, but it was never a profit. It was a loan. So when that company goes under, the minute it hits any kind of trouble because it doesn't have enough of a buffer because of the way that Bain Capital bought them out, well, what happens? 750 people laid off. The United States government had to pay $44 million to cover the pensions, not 100% of the pensions, at most 50% of the pensions. So the workers got screwed on their pensions, on their health care, they got fired, the American taxpayer got screwed, shareholders of that company that were not Bain got screwed. Everybody got screwed but Bain. But if you listen to Morning Joe and the establishment, oh, well, Bain is just here to help you and the pensions and everyone else. Except for when they don't, except for when they profit off of all the rest of our misery. Now, but you're never going to hear that on Morning Joe because their job is to cover a nice little blanket, a silk blanket over Wall Street's ass. Say, have I protected your ass enough? That's Morning Joe's job.